years. So
Well, listen here. The was is the right word that you used, okay? I'm going by the trust that was left from David and Frank to David. I'm
okay,
following that to the T,
so just so
okay?
you know, that is a trust, and yes, I am very well versed in the law, and
Okay,
I've spoke
and
with
so
my.
therefore, you know right now, my name is to, I'm
You don't
the,
trump the trustee. The
what's
trustee
that?
is, you don't trump the trustee. The beneficiary does
I
not
am
trump
the
the trustee.
trustee.
No,
I
you're
am
not
the
the trustee.
trustee.
You're not the
I
trustee.
am, listen,
I just spoke
if
with
you're
the
familiar with,
courthouse the other day. You are not the trustee. David is the
according,
trustee.
who said that?
The Lincoln County
Lincoln County
Courthouse?
Courthouse.
No, no. If you had a copy of it, you would see clearly that I'm the trustee.
You cannot be the trustee. He's not passed
How?
yet. It's a living trust. It stays in David's name until David dies.
Not if
That's the
he's
way
in
the
this
law
condition.
works.
Not if he's in this condition.
Nope, that's not
The
true
tr-
either. It does not pass on to trustee. It does pass on to beneficiary, but the beneficiary does not have the authority past the trustee, and he is still the trustee.
well, you're wrong. Okay,
No, I'm
so
actually right, and Philadelphia law is a lot different than Oregon law. If you really want to
I'm
get,
I'm
and if
read
you really
I'm
want to get
reading the
down to
trustee.
this,
I'm reading. If you had the trust, you would be able to.
and
I could
sir,
very
if you
tell you
really
that.
want to get down to this, if you really want to get down to this, there is a law in the state of Oregon that states that it goes from family member to family member to family member. So actually, if we really wanted to talk about this and really wanted to go to court and really wanted to contest this, my mother, Uncle Jerry, and Uncle Larry are next in line
Because Frank
Well,
bought it.
because
then
Frank
you're
bought it. Because
listen,
my Uncle
listen,
Frank bought the
listen,
house.
Because
listen.
your brother had
I,
nothing to do with it.
listen. I you know, we're not going to argue over something where you clearly, the trust is very, very well done,
Now,
okay?
I'm aware of what the
And
trust says, and just so
no,
you
you're
know,
not, because you just said things that
no,
are
that are true
absolutely,
by law.
no,
I've spoke with
listen,
my attorney.
the trust is not a legal document that a state issues how they work. The trust can be anything two individuals
That is not
deal
true.
with, okay?
That is
And
not
Frank,
true. And
if you
just
have
so
a
you know,
trust, that's the
here's
wrong.
the deal. This is all boiling down to something that is irrelevant anyway, because all we did was come up here to visit David. Nobody's
Okay,
looking for anything, nobody's trying to do anything. Everybody was trying to
well,
be totally for David and David only. We were attacked
okay,
by the caregiver. We did not do anything incorrect. And
okay.
and by the
I
way, she gives no number out so that we can okay anything. The only person that's been amicable about anything is Linda by giving me her number, but she's not always here. So we have no information on who this woman is or how to get an appointment to see David or
you
anything else.
you have you have you could call David, okay, and you could get
David, no, you just said that's kind of contradictory, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Because you just
Yeah.
said that David was incapacitated,
Yeah.
and David
So
understands everything I'm saying. So if he's incapacitated that way, how's he going to be capacitated enough to give the
I
okay
don't
for me to come up here?
yeah.
well,
So you're
okay, you know
Well, that's
this.
contradictive.
All right, so,
No, you
so
know exactly. All we were
no,
doing was visiting my uncle because
okay,
that's
but
what
that
he is to
there's
caused
four
us.
generations of
4 generations of my
pictures in that
family
house.
and
that's
pictures and stuff.
history. The history is
No,
not what we're dealing with.
of
We're not
course, because you
dealing
don't
with
have
what
a
was.
single empathetic bone in your body if you're saying that the history doesn't matter. Because it does matter. He matters to us. It matters that he's dying. We're the ones that have been here for all these years. My mother has been here for both of them for years, and so have we, and so has my kids, and my grandkids have been
That's
up here
fine.
with David.
That's fine. Okay, but right now we have a caregiver that is the most important person in this whole situation. Would you agree with that?
No.
I would not agree with that. I would agree that she's
Well,
there to take care
then,
of
okay.
David.
Well,
May I
that's what
finish, please? I
the
agree that
trust.
it is important that she is there to take care of David. But I don't agree that she's
Beyond that.
standing at the door like a guard dog, won't give her number out for anyone to say, hey, how is David feeling? May we come and see
That's
him?
because
She
she
goes through
doesn't have to
hospice.
do that. She is required because the trust clearly says my obligation to David is to make sure he has 24/7 home care. That's what the trust clearly says.
And that's fine. But
Signed
what
by
you're
my
saying to
brother.
us is that we can't, we're supposed to see if it's okay to come up, but we have no communication but stopping in.
That's a different story. You know how to call other people and get permission and
Who?
find out what's going on.
Who do we
You
know who to
look at
call?
that.
Who do we
You
know?
just-
Who do we know who to
You
call?
could have called anybody in my family. You said you know me. You
I
couldn't
know-
get a hold of
no,
me or my
no,
sister
I
or
know
my
what-
brothers?
Okay, I know what David has told me about you, okay? I know Maggie, I know Jenny, I know Mal. I've met
Right.
Mal, Jenny, and Maggie, all three. I know them.
Good.
But-
Yes, so
but-
why didn't you do that?
But they had no say-so as far as you're saying, so why would I call them to ask when they're not here?
Because you're supposed to be,
You guys
know,
all act
you're
like
supposed
you
to be
just
informed.
automatically
You just-
own this. And that's what's blowing my mind. Because
what?
you guys are just all of a sudden acting like there are personal items and things, and David's personal to us. It means more than just stuff to us. He is
That's
our
right.
uncle.
We're not,
You don't seem like you care about that.
what's that?
Where are you? Have you been up here taking care of him? Because all the years that I have known David, I have not seen you. Not once, not ever.
I'm,
Did you even meet my Uncle Frank? Did you even meet his partner?
I've done what can do for my brother, and the top priority in that
Is to-
in trust and in his need.
Okay, all I hear is
We
money,
all
money,
agree.
money, money, money. That's all I hear. I don't hear a personal level of anything. And I ask you a question. Have you ever even met his partner, my Uncle Frank, that he was together with
I have.
for all those
Yes, I
years?
have.
Well, when
Yes,
was
I
that? Because my Uncle Frank said he never met you, and so did David.
Well, that's not true. I met him multiple times when they were in California. Okay.
Oh, okay. When they were in California. Okay, was that Palm Springs or was that when they were in LA?
Both.
Really? Because we practically were there all the time in Palm Springs, and I never ever heard your name.
Well.
Irregardless, you know, the deal is that we just care about David. My mother is 84 years old. She's the same age as David. Her and David are the best of friends and have known each other for all their life almost. And she is barely getting around but wanted to see him. And I'm not understanding. You know, I have went through this too with many relatives that have passed away, and never have we had a caregiver that was guarding the house like family couldn't even see the person that's dying.
Well, if you're, the approach, you just need to understand. We have the 24-hour service. That person is under a lot of obligation to David, right? A lot of it. And you people come in, and then something goes wrong,
people?
okay?
Okay, whoa.
I'm not
Okay, we're
accusing
not.
anybody.
Okay, but first of all, we're not us people. We're family. He has been our family when other people in his family and other people would not accept,
Shunned him.
shunned him and would not accept his lifestyle. We were
Well,
still his family.
Family typically would coordinate with family so that we don't have these, issues where.
Oh, I don't
somebody
think
shows
we've
up
been treated
and-
like family.
What's that?
I don't think we've been treated like family.
Not since
Well,
recently.
okay, but you need to call us and communicate with us. You know.
This is the first I even knew what your name, as far as your phone number. I got your phone number because you called me. But this is the first that I've even been given any of that information.
You call us.
The issue here is,
I wish I was.
we have a caregiver that is
Come
doing
back
the
soon,
best that they
stuff like
can and doing the right thing by David.
Caregiver.
And
Key
then
word.
when other people show
Caregiver.
up, and then
Not
there's an
guard
incident
dog.
that happens.
Okay.
I'm sorry that it
Okay,
did,
sir,
You
I'm,
were- you
with
were
all due
attacking
respect, the incident was caused by her. I don't know what she's
Okay.
telling
David.
you,
is
but that's the God's
half-assed
honest truth, and I'm a
afraid
God-fearing
of
woman.
church.
I go to church. I'm just gonna
We've
tell you
had
that
too many-
all I
yeah.
do is walk in and say,
We've had too many conversations about him. So.
because he requested
with me
that, and she
too.
said,
Mhm.
okay, then she went off on me about that monitor. I did nothing, absolutely
She just
nothing
walked
wrong.
in
I
there,
was
she
very
knew.
kind.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, I'm not saying, that's.
She's the one that went off.
Okay. Now,
Is that okay?
Well, that
now,
should be a concern of
you have to-
yours. I said that should actually be a concern of yours if she's acting that way, because it was so
is a concern
bizarre.
of mine. That's why I'm calling, okay? caused this is because of, you know, where we have someone that, you know, just shows up, okay, walks in like they, you know, like you did, right? I mean,
We
you
knocked
don't
on the
even
door.
feel like,
We knocked on the door. She came to the door. She said, "Give me a second." And we said, "Okay." And she went to David, said, "You have company." And she said, "Go ahead and come in." How is that intruding? She gave us
that's
permission
fine,
to walk in. And David gave us
but
permission to
that's
walk in.
Yeah.
okay, so she did the right thing, right? She qualified everything. She let you in. Then an incident happened, okay? So then she has to do what she thinks is best, which is to, you
She
know,
started the
deal with it.
incident, sir. She's the one that
She
started the incident.
okay, but with the thing unplugged,
He
that
is not
probably
going to.
changed her attitude, right?
He's not
Okay, but what she should have said was,
Jillian,
the monitor is unplugged. Did one of you accidentally, or do you know where that's at? And I said, "Ma'am, we didn't even know there was a monitor." And then she
Okay,
went off
okay,
screaming.
but that didn't happen. So now we got to get back to that. Because of that, we need to get past that, and that's what I'm asking you to do now.
Oh, I can get past that, but I'm going to tell you right now that if this was my mother and this person was watching her, I would be a bit concerned.
Well, you know, she's being assertive and aggressive, but I am concerned. I told you that,
Keyword,
and so
caregiver.
I'll deal with that also.
Caregiver.
Okay, but right now I've got to deal with, you know, having you folks appreciate that. Right now we need to move forward, and that means that I need to ask.
come with me.
Ohio.
Okay, first of all, Tom, we were leaving as requested by David to get some rest anyway. We weren't arguing any of that. Nobody was ever arguing any of that, ever. When David tells us something, we listen to David, because at this point, this is David.
Today's my 40th
And
wedding
that's what we
anniversary,
do.
and my
We
husband
respect
called.
David. We could have came up here a long pick up the personal items and this and that, but out of respect for David, as I told Maggie when I talked to her, I will not do that until David gives me permission. And he did give me permission.
You got Jill's number?
Yeah. No, I followed everything I'm supposed to, except for the protocol of having someone to call, because when I did call Maggie, she said she had no idea what was going on at the time because she was out on the road with her husband. I don't have Jenny's number, and I didn't have your number.